Hello, beloved. This is Karen with Manna Delight, and I'm here to do a solstice reading. But I have some messages before that that I want to talk about, and some exciting new things that I have coming up that I was going to start some time ago and just never got off the ground. And I'm talking about Twin Souls Network, so I'll start with that. Twin Souls Network is another YouTube channel that I have that I had started some time ago, and it was put on the back burner. Things started happening, and so you know how that is. But the seed was planted for it, and it's still very prevalent and something that I want to get started. So it is about doing interviews of twins, and that's all that would be on that channel would be twin flames, interviewing twin flames. There may be a point in time where I would branch out and actually interview other people, but I want to start with twins and their stories and what it is that they offer and what they do, and ask questions and just tuning into that energy. I really want to start my first few interviews with same-sex twins, and I already have a couple of them, spoken to a couple of them, and have it lined up. So if you are interested at all about telling your story, and you don't have to necessarily be same-sex, I just wanted to kind of start with that, just because there's still a lot of judgment out there regarding same-sex twins. There's, just some negative connotations around it, and it stems from judgment, basically, and just spiritual immaturity as well. So I want to highlight the fact that it is true, it is real, and it's perfect, and it's divine. And so if you are a same-sex twin and would be interested in being interviewed, I will most likely be doing it either via Skype or Google Hangouts. So if you're interested in that, please email me. I always leave my information below that I can be gotten in contact with. I do have a Facebook page, Manna Delight. If you're interested in booking, my services are listed below. You can message me on Manna Delight. If you're not on Facebook, you can email me, but I can book a session right within my Facebook page of Manna Delight. I am also on Instagram, but unless I've connected with you there on Instagram, I do not accept any DMs there. So, yes, so please email me. And then my last video that I did, if anyone tuned into that, I was talking about what gives, because the energy is here. We're in this period of waiting, and so it was like, what gives? And so I was really, really put off by it. It was one of those things where I was like, okay, so when is this going to happen, and all of this. And so my guides told me that we must surrender to win. That is the only way that we're going to be able to even manifest this, because we have to release our resistance. If you are hanging on and trying to control, you are not in flow, you are in resistance. Resistance is the opposite of the flow, and the flow is where you want to be. Flow is where the love is. Flow is where divine intervention is. Flow is where miracles happen. And if you are in resistance, if you're trying to control anything, it's not working. So you have to surrender to when it's going to manifest. And it's just a fact. We don't know when. This is a wait and see type thing. We're not sure how it's going to play out. We're not sure. There's, constantly things being revealed to us and opened up to us. And so there's a lot of things going on and that play in the role of this for us. And so it's crucial to be surrendered. You know, we can be talking about it all the time. And this is not, because then here's how you know if you're not surrendered. If I was to say to you, union will not happen for whatever, 5 more years, you'd be pretty pissed off. And so that would say that you're not in surrender. I know that it's a human reaction and it's a human thing, and we really can't stand the time, you know, we're impatient, and time is the worst part about it. And I used to get very, very triggered about that, because when you're on this journey, and I'm sure all of you can relate to this, it's like you're saying, it just feels like it's right here. It feels like it's right here. And it feels like it's going to happen any single minute, because you can feel the energy to it and you're connected to that. But in this physical reality, it takes time for all of this to play out and everything to happen. So we have to be surrendered to time. If I say that it's going to take some more time, if that triggers you, you are not surrendered to when this is going to happen. And I've often said, and said especially in a lot of my coaching sessions, is you have to surrender to who, to when, and to how. You just have to. There's no other way to move forward and stay in the flow in this journey unless you are completely surrendered. When we start putting our hands on it, when we start trying to control the situation, this is when we're in resistance. And so things aren't moving when you're not in the flow. So my best advice, and the best advice that my guides gave me, because I was in such a frizzle about, okay, it's here, when's it going to pop? When's it going to manifest? Here in this physical reality. And I heard very clearly, you must surrender to win. You must surrender to win. And that is my best advice for everyone out there. You have to be surrendered to win. Yes, it's all exciting to think, oh, it's going to happen any minute, and so posted this, and so did that, and we do these readings to see. But I don't ever give time frames. I don't ever tell you when I think something's going to happen. I just have never done that, because I've never been guided to do that, because when it's ready, it will happen. This is exactly how I feel. So that was the biggest message that I got. And then I was getting a lot of message about resistance and flow, and how you have to stay in the flow of things. You have to stay in the flow of your own journey and not so concerned about when something's going to happen, when's the event going to happen, when's my twin going to call, when are we going to get together, when's union going to happen, when. And we have to bust through the illusion of time. That's what we're doing. We're going to transcend this illusion of time. And in order to do that, we all must surrender. And when you do surrender, you're releasing that tension. You have this tension here. When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And you're trying to control the situation, and you're thinking, and you're doing everything you possibly can. You've got this on it, and you have to let it go. You have to release that tension so that it can make its way to you and flow to you. So those are the messages that I recently have received. Some of the things that I know that we're transcending right now is lack mentality, and limiting beliefs. And I myself am going through the process of releasing my lack mentality. I was stuck in a rut of running specials, needing to run specials, because I was always so worried about this bill and that bill, and rightly so. Okay, and I understand all of that, and I understand being financially strapped. But it's time to transcend past that. It's time to ascend past that and to know your worth, state your worth, and know your value, and not compromising on that, and know what you're actually bringing to the table and how powerful that you really are. So I've been working on dismantling that and just being, I'm not running any more specials. I have my price list out there. That is what I'm charging for it. And that's it. And not running any more specials. It was that desperate feeling, that desperate action of, oh my God, let me run this special because I need to do this, this, and that, and that. And it was keeping me on this lack and not valuing myself on what I really am doing, and the huge work that I am doing, and the great work that I am doing, and what time and energy is really being spent on these readings. And it just was not, it wasn't meeting my standards. So if I kept doing that and kept running these specials and kept accepting less for my work, then I was going to stay there. So they're actually having me ascend past that, transcend my lack mentality, and saying, I'm not going to go under, I'm not sinking with the ship. And I have received beautiful, beautiful donations to help me to do that, because those beautiful donations came in, and it was me being able to say, okay, I'm not going under, and everything is okay, and there's more, always more. There's always more where when we run out, there's never, it's not all going to go away, and we're never going to get abundance again. And I've proven that the universe will take care of you when you're doing good work, when you are speaking your truth and standing in your authenticity, and you are out there on your mission, your purpose, the universe will rise up to meet you, and they do take care of you. And I have proven that over and over again. And I've never been completely out. I've never been completely destitute. They have always taken care of me. And so we're transcending that. And some of you may be noticing some real distortions around that out there in the twin flame community. And this is where your discernment has to kick in. And I keep saying the same things about use your discernment when you are tuning into other people's energies. And, you know, there's a huge distortion about, you know, we got people out there charging astronomical amounts of money, which is a complete distortion. You know, and then I was on this opposite spectrum of running these $11 specials. So I'm coming in the middle here. I need to balance in the middle. But there is some distortedness out there. And it's your responsibility to discern these things. And, yeah, so I mean, if you were, I mean, it's as plain as the nose on your face, some of these things that is going on. And, you know, I'm just hoping that the more that I stand in my truth, and the more that I shine about the true twin flames, and the more that I shine about this journey, the more and more and more, like the one reading that I did with the sword, the Ace of Swords that I seen rising up through all of this crap, and all the dark and the false and all that falling off. The more we do that, the more we're going to be able to help dismantle a lot of these distortions. But I just want to always put it out there that if you're seeing anything going on out there that doesn't smell right, doesn't look right, or whatever, then it most likely is not. And this is where your discernment's going to come in and say, you know what, I don't think I want that energy in my space. I don't think I want that energy in my union. And then backing away from that. And not coming from a place of judgment as far as that is concerned. Not coming to the place where, okay, that person is this and they're going to have this happen, they're going to pay. Because really and truthfully, what this whole thing is about, what this whole ascension process is about, is raising the vibration of humanity, but we are helping to release people from that karmic wheel of all of this, the reincarnation of lives and having to come back and fix this and change that, this karmic wheel. This is what we're helping people to do. If you are still in judgment, then you are still on that karmic wheel. Yes, it's very easy for us humans to judge. It is a characteristic. It is something that we're born into. It is, the whole thing with Adam and Eve, and I'm not going to get into debating what is what and all this and that. I'm using it as an example of eating the apple and whatever it was, and her then now being ashamed of her own body. And then they had to go out and get these leaves or whatever. Whether that's true or not, it is an analogy, and I'm using it as an example. It is something that is there, but we're here to transcend that. We're here to usher in unity and unity consciousness. That is what we're doing. I say the same things because it's that simple. It's that simple. That is what we're here for. The future has no karma. The future has no fear. It has no judgment. And if you're still holding on to that, that has to go. So, and that's another thing that really does tie into the whole time thing too, is that, yes, of course it's taking time. And yes, I feel that we have healed our past and we've healed so many things. But I feel like there's more steps that need to be done as far as transcending a lot of our human nature, which is that fear and judgment. And there's just a lot of things that are still coming up for to be transcended. And I've said it so many times that union is directly connected to unity consciousness. And getting to that place where we are at that place of unity consciousness, which is the opposite of everything that we've ever learned and known. It is unconditional. It's unconditional love. It's a place of absolute no fear, no judgment. It's harmony. It's peace. It's love. It's compassion. It's forgiveness. It's all of these things. And it's not easy. And sometimes it takes time. And so anyway, that was my message regarding this. And, there's still a lot of twins out there. And there's a lot of twins that most likely won't hear this message unless you guys share it. Sometimes if I put a message out and people share it and people are commenting, that it reaches more people. But then sometimes I see where they're not going anywhere. And that's because YouTube has done this thing where, they're wanting interaction. So if you can like it and share it and get the message out there on what I'm saying, because there is a lot of people out there that are saying, they're still doing that whole thing. They're still doing that whole thing of, well, union's happening this time. Or something's going to happen at this time. We have to release that. We've been doing that. If you've been on this journey for any amount of time, there's a prediction. Bam, there it is. There's a prediction of when it's going to happen. Union. And I did it myself. I'm a victim of it. And like I said, my last video, I did the same thing. I fell under it as well. It's talking about, when's this going to happen? Oh, I thought it was here. I thought it was going to happen now. And of course, like I said, that's human nature. However, we're transcending past that. And I know that this is what I'm on. Does not mean that every twin flame reader out there is going to be doing that. I am very comfortable with the fact that I am a minority, and that's okay. Because I know that I'm speaking the truth. If there's anything that I do know, it's that I'm a true twin flame. And I'm a high-level twin flame, and I know that it is my mission to help bring twins into union. And I'm using this YouTube platform to do that. And I know that I'm in the minority, but you're going to see people still stuck on this. A union's coming. In the fall, this is going to happen, and there's going to be this tower, and there's going to be this explosion, and so there's people that are still going to be stuck on that. Is it to say that people can't get time frames or an era? Sure, but has it been proven? Thus far, it has not been proven. Thus far, we have not seen it happen and the time frames that people keep talking about that. And this was my question presented, and my guidance has been, we have to surrender to time. When you surrender to time, this is when it's going to flow in. So I have to get this message to you that you have to release your tension, and you have to surrender to when it's going to happen. When it is right, when it is perfect, it's going to come in. And we don't want it unless it is. You don't want it unless it's ready. I don't. If you want half of something, go for it. But I want it perfect, and I want perfect, period. I want it perfect. I want it perfect. And so I am surrendered to win. And so putting that message out there, and the more that do surrender to win, we're going to release that. We're going to release that. We're not swimming upstream. We're not going against the flow. We're with the flow. We're with the flow. And this is going to help it happen a lot sooner than this constant thing. And it's a plague out there. It's going. Everybody keeps saying it. And nobody has ever been proven. And that's because we're stuck on this, in the illusion of time, which we are transcending. And how you transcend is to surrender. How you stay in the flow is to give up your resistance and your control of what's happening and trying to make something happen. You want that natural flow to occur. Okay, so I think that's it. Along with the lack mentality is any of our limiting beliefs. So it's knowing your value. Some of that's coming into play. But those were the big messages that I got, just about resistance and flow, surrendering to win, releasing lack mentality and any form of limiting beliefs. And then I wanted to give the announcement about the Twin Souls Network. And I leave all of my information below. And because of the beautiful donations that I get, I did get 2 other set of cards that I'm going to use today, which I'm excited about. And this is the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed. And I'm going to use this card for the energy. So we're just going to have the cards pop out. This is such a big deck, but these cards are so beautiful, and there's a great book that goes with them. So I will be reading from the book since this is brand new. I should have done an unboxing of these. Some of these cards are just absolutely breathtaking. All right, so we would like, please, for the summer solstice energies for twin flames, the true twin flames, what is the energy of the divine masculine, please? And they're green. My candle's green. I got my little bamboo here. I'm in a very green state, a healing state. When I opened these and seen that they were green, I was like, yes, 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 yes. The energy of the divine masculine, please, June 2018, summer solstice. What is their energy? The Knight of Cups. Beautiful. I hope you guys can see this. The Knight of Cups. Because this is the messenger of water. And this is the Knight of Cups. Look how beautiful. That's the masculine. All right. The feminine energy for summer solstice, please, 2018. So we have the Nine of Fire, and then we have the Hermit card that wanted to come out. So Hermit, I'm hearing, is the crowning energy. And the Nine of Fire. All right. So then I'm going to use, and this, I used to do this type of reading using different cards a long time ago, and I'm going back to that just to shake it up a little bit and to show off these new cards. I'm the challenge, please. And I've been shuffling the cards, so they're all pre-shuffled. Right? I feel like I should give them another shuffle here. The challenge for the Divine Masculine Summer Solstice, June 2018, please. What is their challenge? The Ten of Pentacles. And what is the challenge for the Divine Feminine, please? Summer Solstice. 2018, June 2018. Challenge for the Feminine. Three of Wands flipped over. That was on the bottom of the deck earlier, wasn't it, when I was flipping things around? Okay, and we're going to change it up a little bit. And I'm going to ask what is in their heart space for these two. And I'm going to use the Whispers of Love for what they're projecting forward. And we'll pull clarifiers as always if we need to. What is in the Divine Masculine's heart space? Summer Solstice, 2018, June 2018, Divine Masculine. Ooh-wee. Four of Earth. That's the Four of Pentacles. But I do have my book on hand. Like I said, I'm going to read from the book because there's different meanings. And I absolutely love the meanings. What is the heart space for the Divine Feminine, Summer Solstice, June 2018, please? Oh my goodness gracious. Well, we have the Tower and the Queen of Air. So, a lot of talking from the... Okay. This one is also a crowning energy. And these are major arcanas. Can you all see this? Let me put this down just a hair. Okay. So I need to move this over. Hermit and Tower. So we may have a couple different scenarios up there with those two, but this is in the heart space of the Divine Feminine. Okay, and then whispers of love. For what is the masculine projecting towards the feminine? Whispers of love, please. And these are beautiful cards too. Absolutely beautiful. Talk to me, whispers of love. Masculine towards the feminine. What's he saying? What's the message? Then they want to pop out forward now. And that's one thing about getting these cards warmed up. I've been putting my energy in them and getting them all attuned, and they still kind of want to stick together. There she goes. Finally. You are limitless. I love this. I love it, because that was part of my opening message. All right. And the feminine to the masculine, please. Beautiful card. I'll let you guys see it in a minute. Thank you. Love who you are. That's what the feminine is saying to the masculine. Beautiful. All right. So first, let's just start off with the messenger of air, which is the Knight of Cups. But I'm going to read what the book says about it. And let's set my bell here. Ooh, romantic attraction, chivalry, admiration, seeing the best in others, heightened emotional awareness, a call to fall in love. So, it has that ability. It has that offering of love to the feminine. I feel like there is more of romance out there for the feminine from the masculine. I feel as if they've noticed that there is this drawing, this attraction, this sexual attraction, this, and some of them may be in denial, and a lot of them I know are still in fear regarding this, like, wait a minute, I never felt that for this person before, or no, I said I wasn't going to do that, or this is brand new for me, or whatever it is. But there is a sense of this whole watery, lovey-dovey type romantic feelings for the feminine coming in, and attraction with this Knight of Cups, messenger of water. Beautiful. Nine of Fire for the feminine, which would be the Nine of Wands in traditional tarot. But we're going to see what this book says regarding it. Nine of Wands is typically on the defensive. It's being wounded. But we don't want to affirm that anymore. So the Nine of Fire is talking about caution, uncertainty, and reevaluating circumstances. And it says, I need to stop, wait, and look around me before proceeding further. My sense of uncertainty is my inner wisdom telling me to bring illumination to my situation, to allow insights to arise and guide me before I take my next step. Questioning is good. I will look carefully to see if a different path may be right for me at this point. So this, I feel, is talking about what I was talking about in the beginning of being discerning. It's still very important for you to be discerning. It's still very important that you're not allowing any negative or lower vibrational influences into your space, especially into your union space. And a lot of us are shifting right now. A lot of us are getting ready to move. A lot of people are going back home and dealing with family issues. I've been doing that for a while now. A lot of people are getting ready to embark on new adventures as we're under this energy of newness and getting ready to really embark out in a different path. And this is what this is talking about here. So a lot of the feminine are under this energy of a change and making sure that it is right for you, knowing and discerning whether you should go down that path or what you should be doing. But there's definitely some movement coming, some shifting. I feel as if there's a move for me in a different direction. And part of that is included with the Twin Souls Network. So I'm really going to put a lot into that because I'm feeling really drawn to pick that back up again. So this is the energy. So it's asking you to check and look and see if there's a different path that you need to be going on. Looking around at your surroundings and being very mindful of really what's going on and being honest with yourself as well. Challenge for the Divine Masculine is the Ten of Pentacles. So I feel like a lot of them are, the Ten of Pentacles to me is grounding your empire. Building your empire, building your brand. And a lot of them are still doing this. A lot of the Divine Masculine, they're already planting seeds and planning for the future and grounding into the physical. And they've done a lot of great work in that respect. Because this is like the family business. This is inheritance. It is completing a cycle. So I feel like there is what they're doing here with this is completing a cycle regarding what they have been manifested and what they have grounded in the physical regarding finances, regarding what they've built as far as a foundation for you both to come into and you both to do your mission and what you came here to do. And so this is closing them out for that. The Four of Earth is what is in their heart space. So we're going to read that. This would be the Four of Pentacles. And this is holding on in traditional tarot. It has an element of greed to it. But I'm feeling something different for this book. Excuse me. It's not alphabetical. Four of Earth. Thank you. The beauty of divine order, trusting in a solid foundation. That ties in with this card as well, where this is about foundation for me too. Even if I feel shaken up and I'm unable to understand why things happen as they do, I know for certain that divine order manifests in all aspects of my life. What I have built rests on a solid foundation, so there is no need to fear. While it is true that nothing is permanent in the material world, I find security in the existence of a divine plan. Spirit is always there to remind me that I am exactly where I'm meant to be for my highest good and for the highest good of all, and that I always have abundance available to me. So this is in the heart space of the masculine, and I feel like they're trusting the plan. I think they're trusting in the divine plan. I think that they're getting spiritual intuition and guidance, and they're able to know that this is them knowing the bigger picture in their heart. They're tuning into, there's a bigger picture here. There is something divine. There is destiny and fate that I'm answering to. And this is what is helping them to continue and to move forward, by trusting this in their heart, that everything's going to be okay and there is a plan that they are a part of. So this is beautiful. And what they are projecting and saying to their divine feminine is, you are limitless. Recognize this truth and you can do anything that you choose to do. So there's what I was talking about in the preface to this reading, is that we're releasing our limiting beliefs. So this is your masculine encouraging you to tune into the power and the beauty of who you really are, and know that you are limitless. There is no cap on what you can do. You are powerful. And tuning more into that and recognizing your value, and not being stuck in this, and not really being stuck in what everybody's saying. There is a trend out there, like I was saying before, there's a trend out there that everybody's like stuck on. You know, expect union fall, expect union spring, expect union winter by Christmas, January 1st. We've all heard it, and there's that loop that is on there. And knowing that we are powerful enough, and there are no limitations to us and what we can do, and standing in our power and not giving our power away to time. We're transcending that illusion. Time has power over you if you're not surrendered to it. It has power, and it can trigger you. Just like I said, if I was to say, well, union's not going to happen for 5 more years. Oh my God. And I'm not saying that, and I don't believe that, but I'm saying if that was my message, I probably would get a lot of hateful emails. It would trigger so many people. But we have to get to that point where you're not triggered by that anymore, that when it's right and when it's available, it's going to come in. But you have to understand that there's nothing that you can't do. So the masculine is very much wanting the feminine to stand more into this power and not giving your power away. You're giving your power away to time by not being in the flow, by resisting it. You're giving your power away to it, and we're limitless. We are transcending time. It doesn't matter. And the beautiful thing is that time really is speeding up, and I do feel like that is divine intervention. Everything is getting faster. Like some days I'll be like, my God, it's 7 p.m. already? And yeah, because time is speeding up. It's June. It's the middle of June. We are in the middle of 2018 already. Where did it go? So this is a blessing for us. This is a blessing. At least this is happening. I couldn't imagine if the days were dragging and the months were dragging. It would be torture. But time is sped up to help us, and the whole idea of time is really going away. And surrendering to it, and not really needing to get out there and watch every reading that comes out regarding when this thing's going to happen. Because it is a loop. It is a loop. And it is something that we've noticed if you've been paying attention. Because, listen, I'm a Sagittarius. I'm a double Sagittarius. I'm a truth seeker. I want the truth. I'm blunt because I tell it like it is. I'm honest. I am a realist. Optimistic? Always. But a realist as well. These time frames have come and went. And so we have to look at them. We have to say, okay, what are we doing wrong here? And what we're doing wrong is we are not surrendered to when it's going to happen. So this Nine of Fire for the feminine, we already went over and discussed. The challenge for the feminine is the Three of Wands. And it is this. And it's what I've been talking about. The Three of Wands is this guy who's standing at the harbor and he's just waiting for that ship to get here. Well, should he just be standing there waiting for the ship to get there? Or is there something that he can be doing? Is there something he needs to be embarking on? Because this is talking about recognizing a different path. Recognizing that you don't have to just be standing here waiting. So this is challenging for the feminine. And it's challenging because there is that element of waiting. You know, it's like tick, 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 tick. You know, you keep looking at your clock. Tick, 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 you know. I'm waiting at the harbor for the ship to get there. Well, there's got to be something that you can be doing or should be doing to stay in the flow of the universe and not being stagnant. So this is coming up as the challenge. The heart space for the divine feminine, and there's the bell, is the Queen of Air, and this is the Queen of Swords in traditional tarot. And let's see what she has to say in here. And I love this card too. I hope you guys can see it with the white owl there. Beautiful. The Queen of Air. Setting healthy boundaries, strong self-esteem, calculated and shrewd decisions, clear communication, well organized, and a wordsmith. I have clarity of purpose. My intentions are in alignment with my understanding. There's always a strategy in the game called life. Can I let go of false truths and be rigorously honest with myself and others? So there that is. This is about you guys setting boundaries, about all of us setting boundaries, about us speaking our truth, about being very honest and sometimes being brutally honest about things that are going on within the journey. And being honest about the element of time as well. But this is the heart space, and this is you speaking your truth more than anything, and being authentic, and setting boundaries, and being firm in that, and moving forward in your truth and in your power. Like, look at that headdress on her. And this is a queen. with that beautiful white owl on there. Beautiful. And what is the feminine saying to the masculine? Love who you are. You are a divine and wonderful person, deserving of all wonderful things that this life has to offer. Beautiful. So, encouraging self-love for the masculine, encouraging which is already in their heart space of divinity, knowing that they are divine, trusting the divine plan. So the feminine is just encouraging them more to love themselves. Love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. And this is how they transcend the fear. Because there is that fear there. There is that doubting. There is that, like I said earlier, almost the denial of this. And busting through fear is with love and with self-love. So the masculine is saying, know who you are. You're limitless. Stand in your power. Claim it. And the feminine is telling the masculine to embrace more self-love. And then we have these two major arcanas pop out. I'm going to set those here too. We have the Hermit and we have the Tower. And like I was feeling, I felt like there was a couple of different scenarios. But I'm going to read the meanings. Come on, guys. I'm going to read the meanings of these. I'll read the Hermit first since it came out first. We may have two different scenarios going on, which is why I really wanted to do the 3-card, pick a card last week, because there are so many different situations going on. So for some of you, I'm feeling the Hermit, and the Hermit is a timeout. Sometimes it's necessary to take time out for regrouping and introspection, and that is going along also with this card as well, as far as knowing a different path, reevaluating your path. This is a temporary experience, but one necessary for growth. When you step back, retreat, regroup, and renew, you have a clear perspective of everything in life. So some of you are in a much needed timeout, and then where there is some inner reflection going on of what needs to take place. What is your next step? What should you be doing? Because, like I said, this is in the challenge position, and this is definitely not where we want to be, where we're just standing and waiting. Remember, the masculine is encouraging you to stand in your power and to remember who you are completely. And then we have the Tower. Surprises. Things happen really fast with this card when it shows up. Its appearance could portend a total paradigm shift or a sudden upheaval that takes something away in order for something better to take its place. It could be that I've had an epiphany. Whatever it is, this card tells me unexpected events will be very interesting and offer opportunities for positive transformation if I remain present with my eyes open. So that's beautiful to me, because it's talking about your eyes open and not hiding and not in fear and not looking at the truth of this, about the whole timing thing. We can get in that where we're closing our eyes and saying, no, I don't want to hear that. No, I don't want to hear that. No, they're talking about it's going to be forever. No, I can't hear that it's going to be forever. No, I don't want to hear that it's going to be forever. But being honest and looking at this, and like I said, I'm a Sagittarius, so this is part of me looking at this logically and saying, okay, well, this really hasn't happened like it said it's going to happen. So let's be honest, let's be real about this. But this is talking about surprises, and this card to me is divine intervention coming in. You know, and I really did look up to the sky and say, hey, we're overdue for some divine intervention right now. So this is beautiful what's going on. So we could have two different scenarios where some of you are in this hermit mode and gaining perspective on what you should be branching out and doing. And I feel like if you don't know, or if something is amiss, there's going to be something that's going to come in and break that cycle. This is a paradigm shift, which is what we're expecting with this summer solstice, and this is a summer solstice reading. So I feel like this Tower card is really tuning into the energy of the summer solstice, that there is going to be this shift. And all of these shifts and everything that's happening and all of our guides and everything that is the time speeding up is everything to help us get into this, into our unions and into this place of being whole and unity consciousness and able to anchor in higher timelines. So with all of that happening for us, this card is saying that these summer solstice energies are just that as well. Shifting, happening. So if some of you are in this mode right now where you feel like you have been pulled back and in a timeout and not really moving forward, expect this to help with that. This summer solstice energies to help with that. There could be some surprises for all of us in store. We don't know. But this Tower card is talking about surprises. So there could be something to come along the way with this summer solstice. Divine intervention, you know, is what this Tower card represents to me. So that's what I'm picking up on. Those are the messages that I have received. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Like I said, I always leave my information below, and I do receive emails. I do accept donations if you would like a reading to tune into your dynamic. I do a full spread like this, and it is a video reading. And there are different prices below for phone readings if you prefer phone readings, or even Skype if you would like to do Skype. If you just can't get a handle on things and really want some coaching, I do offer that as well, and that is below. And if you do enjoy my readings, please consider making a donation. This helps you stay in giving and receiving. If you're one of these people that's out there watching all of the free readings and haven't donated to a channel, consider donating to a channel, and not just mine. Pick your favorite reader and make a donation. This is going to help you stay in balance with your giving and receiving, because we are doing these for free, and they do take up several hours of our time. So consider that. And yes, and I'm going to get this uploaded. Happy summer solstice to everyone. And I love you all very much. And of course, again, if you need me, my information is below. Namaste.